with a pole. This crash happened late last night at the intersection of North Parkway and North Bellevue Boulevard. He's expected to recover. This crash is in addition to another officer with a crash that happened Wednesday. That led to that officer flipping his patrol car at an apartment complex. He is also expected to recover.
Hey, Joe, I thought you were retired.
Living on a fixed income is tough. So here I am, an essential worker.
I know. I mean, food prices are going up every day. Thank goodness for benefitscheckup.org.
Benefits what?
benefitscheckup.org. It's a free website where people over 60 can find help to pay for food, medicine, even utilities. I got $1,200 a year in benefits. Maybe it can help you.
Please don't feed the bears. That's the word from the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency for neighbors in Knoxville and across East Tennessee. A spokesperson with the TWRA says they've had reports in Knoxville where people are intentionally feeding bears to view them. He added they're seeing more and more of that kind of behavior. The agency says leaving food out for bears can cause them to lose their natural fear of people, which can lead to very dangerous behavior and the possibility of bears being euthanized. Will Lovely, Access Tennessee News.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com. This is Rutherford Issues, hitting right at what matters most to all of us here in the heart of Tennessee. From Murfreesboro to Smyrna, Eagleville to Laverne, Leatta to Barfield, and everywhere in between. If it matters to you, you'll hear about it in the next hour here on Rutherford Issues. Now your host, Brian Barrett.
Well, hey, hi, and hello there, fun lovers and truth seekers. Welcome in to a finally Friday Rutherford Issues here from News Radio, WGNS, AM/FM. wgnsradio.com, Big G TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Kick, Trovo, website, wgnsradio.com. And that Big G TV coverage brought to you by Murfreesboro Medical Clinic and Surgery Center. Celebrating 75 years, and their growth continues. Lascassas Pike really getting popping over there. They've got got it topped and just keep moving right along. So that's going to be nice to have on that side of town. But Murfreesboro Medical Clinic continuing to grow with our community, putting your health as their mission. That's Murfreesboro Medical Clinic. Hope you're having a good Friday. Off to a fine start. We've got some salutes to do this morning. We'll start that with our salute to Sydney Jackson, today's Good Neighbor of the Day, for leading Barnyard Academy and their great blend of fun, learning, and nurturing environment that truly sets them apart. That's Sydney Jackson, apparently with Barnyard Academy. I think that's on Heritage Park Drive. They're the Good Neighbors of the Day today. From Ryan Flowers Coffee and Gifts and News Radio, WGNS. So congratulations to Sydney Jackson. And, your favorite person, someone who's made a big difference in your life, someone who just stepped up and did something super kind, complete stranger at the grocery store that took your groceries out, whatever it might be. Let us know. As long they wear name tags, right? So get their name, even if it's just a first name. John over at Publix. Hey, John at Publix can be a good neighbor of the day. So help us out with that. Text the word neighbor to 615-893-1450. We actually had that this week. What was it? Julia at Panera Bread on Memorial. So text neighbor to our number. You'll get a reply. Just tap on the link, fill out the information, click submit, and boom, done. It's here. It's in my inbox. There'll be the Good Neighbor coming up. WGNSradio.com/Good Neighbor. Another good way to get those to us. Also mail 306 South Church Street, Murfreesboro 37130. And also sending it here to the radio station is another fun and easy way to get it to us. So, Melissa, you can call her, say from noon to 4:30. Give her time to get settled in and things rolling. Birthday Club. That's something we do each weekday morning as well, and we pick up the birthdays for you on Saturday, on Fridays, and on Monday we'll do the Sunday birthdays. And happy birthday today to Juanita Woods. Juanita celebrating a birthday. Could be tomorrow, but I think it's today. And she's going to receive the banana pudding from Slick Pig Barbecue, 1920 East Main, where you can find Slick Pig, the Robinson family, celebrating 30 years this year. So congratulations, Juanita. Enjoy the banana pudding. Hope you have a wonderful birthday. And here's the fun thing about the birthday club. The best thing is names are announced on the air. Around 8 o'clock, everybody's name that has been called in throughout the day, or even the day before, or submitted, they're announced on the air. So it's appointment listening around 8 o'clock for the birthday club, and then a birthday winner is picked from that group, however many it is, from, I don't know, 8, 9, all the way up to 20, 30. We've had some really long birthday lists in July. Not quite as much in August, but July must be a pretty popular month. Regardless, Juanita, congratulations. Thanks to Slick Pig Barbecue over at 1920 East Main for their many, many years of support.
Now, here's your Rutherford weather forecast.
We're going to send you outside on Big GTV, let you see what's going on out there. Currently 83 degrees here at our Broadcast Plaza studios. Let's see, looking at 81 at the Murfreesboro Airport. That temperature, that's up-to-date temperature. 81 degrees at the Murfreesboro Airport. At the Smyrna Airport, we're coming in at 82 degrees at the Smyrna Airport. So right now, we're the hot spot downtown Murfreesboro. Going to have more heat, and the humidity, of course, you felt it yesterday. You're going to continue to feel it through the weekend. It's going to feel like it's near 90 degrees, and it's pretty much rinse and repeat with some rain chances next week we'll talk about.
Well, Brian, it looks like we'll see sunny skies here for this afternoon with a high around 90 degrees. Winds out of the south around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, mostly clear, we'll see a low around 70. Saturday, sunshine, high of 91 degrees. Sunday, plenty of blue skies and sun, high around 92. Monday, a slight chance for some showers and thunderstorms here late. Blend of clouds and sunshine develops, high of 91. Tuesday, chance for rain and storms, a high of 90. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Thank you, Jennifer, for the update there. And let's take a look at our Rutherford weather radar. Not showing anything out and about right now. Let's go to our live radar. Taking a look around, we've got the sweep coming through from the National Weather Service Doppler weather radar in the Hermitage area, Old Hickory. Not detecting anything around the mid-state area. Our outlooks for severe possibilities, just general thunderstorm risk today. Not even outlooked for that tomorrow, and then again on Sunday. And as we get into next week, more general thunderstorm risk will be possible, but we're not highlighted for any severe weather at this point. So that is certainly some good news. We can tell you that by the time we get to, let's say, Tuesday, about a 5 in 10 chance of showers and storms Tuesday, Wednesday. So looking for that as we continue. That's a look at your Rutherford weather forecast. Don't forget to check us out, Rutherford Weather online, RUCO, or online, RutherfordWX.com, RutherfordWX.com, or RUCO Weather, RUCO Weather, on your favorite social media platform, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, X. Those pretty popular, right? Been out there for a long time. Some newcomers like Kick and Trovo. Yeah, you can find us there as well. Twitch, at RUCO Weather on all of those social platforms, RUCO Weather. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications. That way you're always in the know about the latest Rutherford weather. And again, this very live broadcast on Big GTV is brought to you by our friends at Murfreesboro Medical Clinic.
Good day, Wall Street to Church Street.
For 75 years, Murfreesboro Medical Clinic has been a cornerstone of health and compassion in our community. From our humble beginnings to the advanced, comprehensive care we offer today, our commitment to you has never wavered. With 8 locations across Murfreesboro and Middle Tennessee and over 100 physicians, we continue to provide the highest standard of care. Then, now, and always, your health is our mission.
Well, that worked better as in my mind with this computer. Just very touchy today. But anyway, thanks to Murfreesboro Medical Clinic for bringing us the live stream.
Good day, Rutherford County. This is Lee Colvin, financial advisor and CFP with Edward Jones. Let's get the latest business news from our financial desk.
Well, stock markets closed mixed yesterday as technology-heavy NASDAQ was slightly positive. And here this morning, stock prices edging a bit higher at the opening. It has been a relatively quiet day on the data and news front so far. Right now, the Dow is up 130 as Wall Street looks to close out a winning week. 44,099 right now. S&P is up 38, 63.77. NASDAQ ahead 165, 21,408.
From Wall Street to Church Street, that's the latest business news from the Edward Jones Financial Desk. I'm financial advisor and CFP Lee Colvin. Call 615-907-7056 or stop by our office on South Rutherford Boulevard in the Public Shopping Center.
Rutherford Issues on News Radio WGNS.
Time for us to check world news from CBS. Wake Up Crew, Rutherford Issues, Action Line, Roundtable. We're all powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. And their virtual annual meeting is coming up Saturday the 16th, 2 p.m., a week from tomorrow. Now, starting tomorrow, you can register for prizes, submit questions, vote for officers at MTE or by phone. Again, that starts tomorrow, the 9th. More information at mte.com/annual meeting.
CBS Radio News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. Israel says it plans to take over Gaza City. That decision to escalate the war with Hamas drew fresh international calls to end the conflict. CBS's Ramy Inocencio.
Today, inside Israel, the Hostages and Missing Families Forum says that this push into Gaza City will mean death for hostages still alive. Former Prime Minister Yair Lapid says this is a disaster that will cause more disasters. And then there is outside Israel criticism growing there. The UN says that this must be immediately halted.
Vice President J.D. Vance is in the U.K. discussing Gaza.
We want to make it so that Hamas cannot attack innocent Israeli civilians ever again, and we think that has to come through the eradication of Hamas. Second, the president has been very moved by these terrible images of the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, so we want to make sure that we solve that problem.
Today is the deadline President Trump set for Russia to reach a peace deal with Ukraine or face possible consequences. CBS's Aaron Navarro reports the focus has seemed to shift to a plan to get Trump and Vladimir Putin to meet one-on-one.
There are indications that there is planning from the U.S. side for some type of meeting. We know that the United Arab Emirates, Rome, and Hungary are under consideration. It's still a possibility for this meeting to happen next week.
The FBI has asked local police to submit the names of people tied to drug cartels and gangs to the government's terrorist watch list created after 9/11. And the New York Times reports President Trump has signed a directive to use the U.S. military to target certain Latin American cartels. Today's the deadline the House Speaker in Texas set for the return of Democrats who left the state to block movement on a redistricting plan. CBS Texas reporter Trevor Sohaki says the FBI has indicated a willingness to find the lawmakers.
Will they grab these people off the streets and bring them back to Texas? That is still unclear, but a former U.S. attorney that we spoke with, he said that this is out of the FBI's jurisdiction.
A major new wildfire in Southern California has forced thousands from their homes, and others are ready to go.
We're a little bit surrounded by, quite a few other homes, but that doesn't seem to matter anymore. These fires get going and they can get through there pretty quick. When we can see it coming, we're out of here.
On the Health Watch, a new study finds that an app that delivers therapy specific to people with suicidal thoughts can reduce suicidal behavior among high-risk patients. Craig Bryan is one of the study's authors.
One way that it could be an advantage is that there are some people who cannot afford mental health care, or they live in areas where it's not easy to access mental health services or therapy.
Wall Street, the Dow is up 117. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
SRM Concrete. With every new day, every sunrise, we build structures that stand the test of time. And upon their foundations are our homes, where we work, where our kids go to school. And with that comes tremendous pride. We don't just make concrete. We build relationships, trust, confidence. We're SRM Concrete. Build with us.
Time now for Danny Brewer's Friday Pony Picks.
Sponsored by the Mint Gaming Hall at Kentucky Downs. The Kentucky Derby is now behind us, but the racing excitement is just beginning. Starting August 28th and running through September 10th, Kentucky Downs will feature the richest 7 days of racing in North America. Titans of the turf from all over the world will descend on Franklin, Kentucky and light up the lawn in an all-grass extravaganza. For more info on the live racing meet, visit themintgaming.com.
Now, here's Danny.
Saturday, August 9th, stakes action across the country. Let's get out of the gates at the Saratoga Racecourse. Race 9 is the Grade 2 Saratoga Oaks Invitational. 6-3-0 fillies going to mile 3/16 on the turf for $500,000. The number 3, Go-Go Boots, is our top pick. British-bred daughter of Knight of Thunder is making her first start in the U.S. for Tara Miguel. Come on. Race 10 at the Spy is the $750,000 Sword Dancer. Mile and a half on turf for 4-year-olds and up. Balanced 9-horse field, the number 9, Utah Beach, is our top pick. It's on the English Channel. We also like the number 2, Rebel Red, for trainer Cherie DeVoe. Colonial Downs is where we head next to Virginia. Race 10 is the Grade 2 $500,000 Beverly D. Fillies and mares 3 and up. You got a 6-horse field. We like the number 2, Be Your Best. She is 2 for 3 this year for trainer Saffie Joseph. Race 11 at Colonial is the Grade 1 Arlington Million. 8 horses going a mile and a quarter on the turf. Sentimental choice here is the number 1, Mystic Dan. The 2024 Kentucky Derby champ is making his first start ever on grass. We also like the number 6, Fort Washington, from trainer Chuck McGay. He's 2 for 4 this year. Race 9 at Del Mar is where we finish. You got the Grade 2 Yellow Ribbon, mile and a 16th on the turf for females 3 and up. 8-horse field. The number 3, Liguria, is our top pick. Daughter of Warfront is 1 win and 2 seconds and 3 starts this year. We also like our long shot play is the number 1, Hang the Moon, for trainer Phil D'Amato. Got a hunch, bet a bunch, back a horse and get paid.
We're visiting with Jennifer.
Get ready for an unforgettable night and support First Shot. Autumn at the Alley is coming to Oakland's Mansion Tuesday, September 24th from 6 to 9 p.m. Sip on fine bourbon, wine, and spirits, enjoy premium cigars, and feast on incredible food from the Alley on Main, all while enjoying live music under the stars. Proceeds benefit First Shot's Academic All-Stars and Send the Kid to Camp programs. Find out more on their Facebook page and through Eventbrite. Autumn at the Alley, September 24th.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Monsi Bolaños.
NFL preseason on Thursday. The Ravens defeated the Colts 24-16. Indianapolis quarterback Anthony Richardson took a hard sack early in the game and suffered a dislocated right pinky finger. He is considered day-to-day. Super Bowl champion Eagles took down the Bengals 34-27. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase both played the first quarter. Burrow completed 9 of 10 passes for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. One went to Chase, who also caught all 4 of his targets for 77 yards. The Seahawks and the Raiders ended their preseason game in a tie, 23 apiece, as Seattle blocked Las Vegas's 55-yard field goal attempt by Daniel Carlson. In baseball, the Mariners walked it off 4-3 against the White Sox on an RBI single from Dominic Canzone in the 11th inning. The Pirates shut out the Reds 7-0, and the Braves came back to beat the Marlins 8-6.
This is News Radio WGNS Prime Time Sports.
Sponsored by the law offices of John Day. Our expanded office location is on Medical Center Parkway, just across the street from the hospital. If you've been injured, call us for a free consultation at 867-9900.
All right, well, just got a little update there on the Braves, right? But how about a more comprehensive report about how the Braves fared against Miami? They've got, that was just game 2 of 5. They've got 3 games, make that 4 games between today and Sunday. That's right. Big doubleheader on Saturday planned for the Braves versus the Miami Marlins. Let's get your Braves update.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update.
Drake Baldwin's case for Rookie of the Year took another boost on Thursday. He hit 2 home runs, had 3 hits, had 5 RBI as the Braves topped the Marlins 8-6. He got off to a good start. Baldwin went deep in the first. That was followed by Marcell Ozuna, the 7th time the Braves have gone back-to-back this year. Drake followed it up with a 3-run home run in the 6th. That got the Braves within 1. They put up 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th to take the win. 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and most importantly, 5 for 14 with runners in scoring position for the Braves. Game 2 coming up tonight. You'll see Bryce Elder for the Braves. He's 4-8, has a 6.03 ERA and 78 strikeouts. The Marlins will counter with Edward Cabrera. He's 5-5, has a 3.24 ERA and 103 strikeouts on the season. For leadoff show with myself and Chris Domino at 6. First pitch against the Marlins, 7:15 Eastern, 6:15 Central on the Braves Radio Network.
Access Tennessee Sports. I'm Josh Copley. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee took a visit to Knoxville on Wednesday to watch the Knoxville Smokies minor league baseball team at Covenant Health Park. Per the Knoxville News Sentinel, Lee was quoted at the event saying baseball belongs in Tennessee. The governor has been a strong advocate for a Major League Baseball team coming to the Volunteer State, and he was also a major proponent for the record-breaking MLB Speedway Classic in Bristol, which he believes is just a hint of what baseball could look like in Tennessee. Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia has been in the middle of a considerable amount of college sports media lately, and yesterday was no different. The USA Today network cited an interview that Pavia had on the Paul Feinbaum show, where the Commodore QB doubled down on his belief that Vanderbilt will be a national championship contender this upcoming season. The Tennessee Titans will take the field for their first preseason game of the new year tomorrow night, August 9th at 6:30 p.m. Central against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm Josh Copley with Access Tennessee Sports.
Access Tennessee News, I'm Will Nunley. A man is facing murder charges following a gruesome scene in Overton County. The TBI says 49-year-old Edward Randolph killed his girlfriend, identified as 47-year-old Hope Parrott, and transported her body in a refrigerator. The fridge was discovered by authorities this week. Investigators have charged Randolph with 1 count of first-degree murder and 1 count of abuse of a corpse. He was booked into the Overton County Jail on a multi-million-dollar bond. The investigation continues following a double shooting in Athens that left 1 person dead. A release from the Athens Police Department says this happened at a railroad crossing at the intersection of Tell Street and Howard Street. Local schools spent Thursday under a special security measure. Police have a person of interest in the case, Carlos Quintana, who they say is considered armed and dangerous. The circumstances surrounding the shooting are unclear. More news in 30 seconds.
AmeriCare is Rutherford County's #1 choice in pest control, and it's simple to see why. After calling 893-7111, their staff came to my house 8 years ago when I had an insect problem. They looked at the situation, showed me the areas, and what they'd recommend to resolve the problem. After treatment and with quarterly checks, I'm bug, critter, and creepy crawly free. Thanks, AmeriCare. AmeriCare, 893-7111.
Delays and cancellations reported at McGee-Tyson Airport following a power outage. An electrical issue created a partial power outage Thursday afternoon. The issue has been contained, and staff are working with the city of Alcoa to make repairs, according to airport staff. Multiple delays and cancellations were reported overnight. While flights are operating, airport officials are urging passengers to expect delays as operators work to bring the airport back online today. Will Nunley, Access Tennessee News.
For 75 years, Murfreesboro Medical Clinic has been a cornerstone of health and compassion in our community. From our humble beginnings to the advanced, comprehensive care we offer today, our commitment to you has never wavered. With 8 locations across Murfreesboro and Middle Tennessee and over 100 physicians, we continue to provide the highest standard of care. Then, now, and always, your health is our mission.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
And Rutherford Issues powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. Their annual meeting, it's held virtually. It's going to be on the 16th. Saturday, August 16th, 2 o'clock. Now, beginning tomorrow, you can register to be entered for prizes. You register to say, hey, I'm going to be a part of the virtual meeting. You're registered for prizes. You could, they've got some great stuff that they're giving away. You can submit questions that will be answered during the live event. That is virtual. And also you can vote for your officers. You can do that at MTE or by phone starting tomorrow. MTE.com/annual meeting, where you can find more information. John Mitchell joins us. John is with the Heart of Tennessee chapter of the American Red Cross and joins us monthly here to give us an update on what's going on. And boy, the summertime just flew by, didn't it, John?
Yeah, it sure did. Here we are. I don't know if we're getting, close to fall, but little coolness in the air a couple days, which was a nice relief. And yeah,
you've lived here long enough. It's false fall.
Yeah. I do. Because then it's going to come back around, and we're going to just be roasting for a little bit, and then slide right into winter, and then all the teachers in the world will be praying for those snow days.
Yeah. And in between now and then, sometimes I've noticed that if August is a little cooler in the beginning, especially, that, end of August, September especially, can just be really hot.
Yeah.
And even October can be warm at times.
It can. I love this area, and the weather is nice. I wish we could do a little something about the humidity. If you could work on that, Brian, that would be great.
I'll try. Yeah.
And outside of that, Middle Tennessee offers so much.
Yeah, it does. And on the weather front, there is what is called a secondary severe weather season in the fall. During those early or fall and early winter months, there's that clash of hot and cold, and so we get storms during that time of the year too. So, and unfortunately, we're coming up on hurricane season. Although so far it's been pretty quiet, but that doesn't mean it's not going to end with a bang.
That's true. So we gear up, and we work off of a fiscal year as far as keeping track of a lot of our statistics, and as we go into this phase, we are starting to really focus on hurricanes. A lot of the national trends are changing so much with weather patterns, and unfortunately flooding. Flash flooding is becoming an issue that you can't underestimate, and so we're really working on being prepared, locally, and also being prepared to respond to some national disasters that may arise.
Well, today we're going to talk about just some of the things that our local Red Cross has been involved in, and disaster response is one of those. And as we take a look, keep in mind that what we talk about here and any numbers you hear are from the last fiscal year, which ended June 30th of this year and started July 1 of 2024. And again, disaster response, you all have put in a lot of volunteer hours and responded to several disasters. I think people will be very surprised by the number.
Yeah, and thank you for saying it the way you said it, because you talked about volunteer hours. So the first statistic that's pretty consistent is the fact that 90% of everything we do is through volunteer support, and we can't do it without these great volunteers. As a matter of fact, we tracked over 35,000 hours of volunteer support, which is key, and really kind of inner look at that numbers is these are documented hours. And so there's a system where you go in and you document it. We all know that there's probably more hours hanging out there that we never tracked, but that's how dedicated our volunteers are, is to go provide the disaster relief, humanitarian services, and then document it so we can, constantly be telling people, we have a lot of people that, donate to the Red Cross. And so that's one of the best ways we can show them what you're doing. Just locally last year, we responded, and this is 16 counties, Brian. This is going from the state line up north of Putnam County and Cookeville all the way down to Lincoln and Franklin County. Yeah, Franklin, as I couldn't spit it out. But through those 16 counties, we responded to 157 disasters, which impacted and we assisted 188 families. So the big thing to know about that is the majority of those are home fires. And that's what we're doing on a very regular basis. We have a position called Disaster Action Team Member that has a phone, or they get on a call list. Someone may say, I'm available during these times, and there's a list. And if somebody says, hey, I'm going to be a Disaster Action Team Member, they may get a call at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 a.m. saying there's a house fire at XYZ address. So we show up, the volunteers, the firefighters do their thing, but we just start working with the family, looking them in the eye, trying to provide a little bit of hope, because maybe everything they own just vanished and they're looking to see their next step. So there's some financial assistance we can put in their hands that night. Some mental health counseling, spiritual health counseling, give them resources that are around that they've never thought they'd have to go reach out to all these different groups they've heard about, but now they need to know who's out there. So it's a pretty special position. And, the reason I mentioned the 2 p.m., the 2 a.m., some say, well, I couldn't go out at 2 a.m. Well, if you become a Disaster Action Team Member, you're putting yourself available to be called. So there'll be a list of people. So if all of a sudden you said, I'm on the call list, but you have right of refusal, you're not forced to go. You're not getting paid. But there's another person down the list to call. And then we've got a few of them. There's some heroes that's been working for the Red Cross. We have a guy named Gene Williams, lives in Bedford County. He covers so much territory. It's just a passion for him. He loves it. Yeah. And he crosses county lines and does that. So we're always looking for our next Gene Williams. So if you're sitting at the house and you're thinking, I got a little extra time, I'd love to help people in their greatest time of need, give us a call. You can call 1-800-RED-CROSS and it'll come right to us. But we're looking for people that want to help people when they need it.
And the fact that these volunteers are just always ready to go, and you're right, meet someone when they're in their probably the toughest time of their life, yeah. And that's always tough. And on that, you mentioned that the number one disaster that you respond to are house fires. So there's really been an effort to educate the community about the need for smoke detectors, and you're actually putting those in homes.
Absolutely. There's a statewide program through the state fire marshal's office. So fire departments can do it too, but they have limited manpower. What we like to do is ramp up that activity, use our existing volunteer bases, join with community partners like we've done with First Baptist Church recently, that we're getting ready. We just met with the Smyrna mayor and the fire chief, and we're getting ready to do what we call a sound the alarm, save a life in Smyrna in October. We've got a few dates we're looking at, but we're going to make a big push to go into a community. And this is an opportunity for our volunteers to work with the local fire department to just canvass that neighborhood. We'll put out some information that we're coming, knock on a door, provide them with safety tips on fire safety, tornado safety, have that conversation. In the middle of that, we identify if they need smoke alarms, and if they do, we have free smoke alarms we install for nothing. They've got a 10-year battery. And so it's a really great opportunity. This is a great entry point for somebody that just wants to check us out. So when you see information about a Sound the Alarm, Save a Life, and you want to come, we can count you as an event-based volunteer. You're coming that day. There'll be a group of 3 to 4 people walking certain streets, and one person will know where to install the smoke alarms, and one person may be taking the paperwork, and the other one may be carrying the bucket with the drill and some of our things. And it's a group effort, but keep an eye out for that. That's just very rewarding. And through that, last year in the calendar year, we installed 318 smoke alarms. Assisted 176 people during the fires, but actually another statistic to that 318 smoke alarms is educating over 400. It was over 500. I can't remember the specific number of fire safety. And I can think of one case where we were in a trailer, and we can give them a little map, and they can draw out their fire route, and one of the routes was to go out the back side, and that entrance was blocked. And I remember just seeing that person's face, like, I'm using that as storage space, but I may need to go out that.
Right. You need 2 escape routes.
You need 2 escape routes, yes. And so you have these conversations just to get people thinking in that preparedness space. And so we're really proud that not only do we respond to disasters, but we really try to alleviate human suffering through our preparedness programs. And Sound the Alarm, Smoke Alarm Install is just one of them. We can come in and do hands-only CPR. If you're an organization and you would like for us to come into one of your meetings and do a Be Red Cross Ready presentation, how do you as a family or how do you as a person stay prepared, and do you have a go kit, a go bag to walk out of your house when things happen? We have some volunteers that just do great jobs with that.
John Mitchell joining us. He is with the Heart of Tennessee chapter of the American Red Cross, Rutherford County, and several other Middle Tennessee counties, but based right here in Murfreesboro. Some of the looking back at some of the big impacts that our local Red Cross has had this past fiscal year. Part of that in terms of training, we're talking like CPR and water safety, things like that, right?
Absolutely. And there's a vast amount of training that is done through Red Cross programs. And we do have ongoing Red Cross classes that are happening right in our office. They can be happening at local sites, but last year, over 5,000 people were taught life-saving skills. 4,500 people in first aid, CPR, and AED. It's a nice caveat that if you become a Red Cross volunteer, you can send in a code and you can get that for free. But I keep mine current every 2 years, and it just, once again, I know that he won't mind me telling the story, but Alan Brown is one of our board members that joined within the last couple of years. Alan's middle-aged guy. He's in great shape. Very successful financial advisor in town. But 2 or 3 years ago, he had an episode where he fell out with a heart attack on a recreation field. And he is highly motivated to get people to have this skill, because he knows if somebody wasn't there to kind of keep him sustained till the professionals came, he could have died. And it really becomes very personal at that point. So Alan is one of those. And Bill Shacklett, I'm going to tell you, Bill's such a great guy in the community, but we did a little video of our board members saying, what's your affinity? What was your connection to the Red Cross? I've known Bill for a long time, but when he gave that video and he sent it back in, I had no idea that he said he saved his mother's life with CPR. I've been in Red Cross board meetings with him and everything.
Wow.
And I just didn't know that, and it came out, and it's like, wow, that's so powerful. So yeah, our training services is really powerful. And if you want to look into getting a CPR class, you can, of course, go to redcross.org. I do this every time I'm here. Feel free to give me a call on my personal cell, and I can direct you towards the right people. 615-651-3405. But yeah, the other thing that people may not know about is our service to armed forces. We are the communication link between military families when they have an emergency. Most of the time that's when there's a death in the family and they want to get that soldier home. We work with the military to do that. That being said, relationship on international services. But last but not least is our Biomed, our blood donation program. So last year, we hosted 630 blood drives in those 16 counties, collected over 14,000 units of blood. And again, that's life-saving blood. Jenny Williams, our board chair, she's highly motivated by that as she has worked with her husband's health issues, and blood donations is a key part to that. So a lot of different things in the Red Cross. Some people don't know that.
Yeah, I think this was probably eye-opening for some people to understand that these are things that the Red Cross does. And again, keep in mind what John said, that 90% of the work that's done is done by volunteers. So that's kind of where things start. So if you would like to volunteer, if you can give the gift of life of blood at the local office as well, which is really a boon to have. I mean, being open all the time.
And I've told this story before, but I'm going to do it in this setting because I'm here at WGNS, and you can't say WGNS without thanking Bart Walker. But Bart Walker is probably personally responsible for us being in that great facility. He told us in a meeting that the mayor said when the Chamber of Commerce was moving from that building to out by the avenue, he said, what do we got to do to move into that facility? We need a good facility. And the real anchor to that is that secured us to have a fixed blood site. And so the mayor, I forget who he said the mayor was at the time, he said, how often can I call you? And he goes, once a week or whatever. And you probably wouldn't be surprised to know that Bart was right on top of whatever he was given, and him and other board members made that happen. So, thank you, Bart, for being...
Do you know what year that was?
I can do some research, and we can talk to Bart. I'm bad about just repulling dates, but...
90s, early 2000s, probably.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking Nancy Allen, but I'm not sure.
That could be. Could be, yeah. So, again, that's just an example of, if you believe in something, whether it's the Red Cross or your church or a nonprofit that you work with, be an advocate, be active. One little, phone calls you make could be transformational. Just think of how many units of blood have been collected at our blood donation center at 501 Memorial Boulevard. And that was because somebody stood up and said, we need this.
Yeah, well, of the 630 blood drives, almost 15,000 units of blood in this last year. And I'm sure a lot of those came right here from the heart of Tennessee. So if you'd like to volunteer, find out more about maybe taking a CPR class, you're going to be a new parent, it's going to be important to know all of these things about the Red Cross. You can contact our local Red Cross. And if you just call 1-800-RED-CROSS, they'll direct you right here to the local office. John, as always, we appreciate you stopping in.
Brian, thank you so much. You have a great day and a great weekend.
You too. John Mitchell joining us this morning, again from the Heart of Tennessee chapter of the American Red Cross. And a reminder to you that if you missed part of the program, very easy to go back and check the podcast, and it will be up lickety-split. Probably within 10 minutes. Maybe by the time you can get to a computer to go back and listen, because you'll want to go back and hear some of the great things John talked about if you just joined us. All right, have a great day, great weekend. We'll see you back here next time.
Subscribe to Big G TV. Local content that matters to Rutherford